CNN News 18 is in possession of documents from the elections website of Canada where we have mined and researched how these K-goons, these Khalistanis, have been regular donors to NDP or Jagmeet Singh's party.
The conflict with India and Canada is not over. Welcome back to Moose and Loose. My name's David. Today's top story here. We've got Indian news reporting Khalistani extremists have been giving money to the NDP and supporting Jagmeet Singh. Not only are they alleging this, they're showing numbers from Elections Canada. This is some pretty scathing stuff. Not a good look on Jagmeet Singh and the NDP accepting money from extremists. Let's jump into this.
CNN News 18 accessed exclusive documents suggesting potential links between Khalistani terrorists and Canada's new Democratic Party, NDP, led by Jagmeet Singh, who was an ally of Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau. Now, these documents reveal that between 2017 and 2021, donations were reportedly made by individuals tied to the Khalistani movement to the NDP. The documents prove how deeply the K-terror element is embedded in Canadian political system. This link, in fact, virtually rules out the Canadian state snapping its links with K elements anytime soon.
Daniel Boardman, we would like to say any Canadian citizen is free to donate to any particular party and it's not illegal. But what's wrong is that these are all wanted persons with Interpol, Red Corner notices, Khalistani elements, and a dossier for their extradition, and with their entire list of laundry list of crimes is with the Canadian authorities since 2018.
Yeah, I mean, this is not a great look. I mean, listen, you're right. If you're a Canadian citizen, you have the right to donate to political parties. That's not a crime. What I've always raised awareness of, and what a lot of people in my circles have sort of been concerned about different extremist movements, is Canada seems to be very, very susceptible to foreign interference through political funding, because it's not so much getting one super rich guy to fund you. Like, the max donation is around $1,500. So the real problem with foreign interference funding is the way the Canadian system is set up is if you have people, in this case Khalistanis, who all share a similar ideology and receive certain foreign funding, in this case would be Pakistan or China. If you have, let's say, the ISI or someone come in with $10, $15, $20, $50,000 worth of cash, you can divide that among 40 to 50 people, have them all donate at the maximum, and then have a lot of influence with the candidates. And
yeah, basically taking a huge swath of money, giving it to all the people to donate, and thus providing all that financial support without it coming from a big donor.
Does that mean this is what's going on here? Maybe. It's a data point that indicates that there maybe was a Khalistani push to increase funding, of course, to Khalistani-aligned candidates. Jagmeet Singh would be one of the most likely recipients of that, because he holds a lot of power and he is philosophically aligned fully with the Khalistani movement.
So it appears that is what they've been doing. Jumping over to this broadcast here, they break down the numbers.
But for the first time, unseen documents establish why the Trudeau government has ignored India's request to crack down on designated Khalistan terrorist Hardeep Singh Nijjar and other members of his inner circle. Why is it that Khalistanis have got such a wide berth in Canada? This, viewers, is being revealed tonight. Documents with us show that Nijjar and his associates funded Jagmeet Singh Dhaliwal, the Canadian MP whose party, the NDP, gave Trudeau's government a majority in Parliament to rule Canada. With Khalistani money in a way propping up the Trudeau government, it is now obvious why the Canadian Prime Minister was happy to malign India and why he provided protection to Khalistanis at the risk of abandoning Canadian Hindus, even Canadian Sikhs. Both Canadian Hindus and Sikhs today are standing in unity, viewers, in places like Brampton, and saying that we don't want these Khalistanis. But viewers, the government there is giving them a wide berth and a free run. Why? Because the documents prove how deeply the Khalistan terror element is embedded in the Canadian political system. This link virtually rules out the Canadian state snapping its links with K elements anytime soon. What do we know, viewers? We know that K-terrorist Nijjar's donation to the NDP, series of these donations began in 2014. 2017. Not once, but 3 times in 2017. The numbers are there. Now, viewers, let's look at Mo Dhaliwal, who was shot to fame being the man behind the Greta Thunberg toolkit deployed to great effect during the height of the Kisan stir here in India. And he's also a self-confessed avowed supporter of Khalistan. In 2017, again, overlapping with the timeline of Nijjar, he donates money. He donates again in 2017, 4 or 5 times in 2017. Once in 2018, once in 2019, again in 2019, again in 2019, then in 2021.
So you can see here all the max donations. They're probably money's being shuffled around and then being maxed out by different people, including these guys who they have dubbed the K, that word.
Big chunks of money, viewers. His entire contribution is there on your screens. And the money doesn't matter, the size of it, viewers. The very fact that a political party is being funded by terrorists. Imagine this playing out in our country, viewers. Of course, after the Supreme Court judgment, we don't know where these political parties are getting their money from. But for a moment, if it turned out tomorrow that one of our mainstream political parties that was holding up the Modi government got money from terrorists, how do you think, viewers, people would have reacted? There is K terrorist Tehal Singh's donation. He's an avowed Khalistani sympathizer to NDP. October 26, 2017, he gave $200. K terrorist Bhagat Brar's donation to NDP, 2017 again. Not once, twice. Now, who are these individuals and what are they wanted for? You know about Mr. Nijjar.
I mean, look at the photo that's here. We got this guy spoon feeding Jagmeet Singh. Like, this is so embarrassing. Not only, obviously, this stuff is terrible for his image in the NDP, but they pick a photo of him with this guy spoon feeding Jagmeet.
Nijjar, several cases against Nijjar for terror activities. Extradition of Nijjar has been sought by the Indian state on several occasions. A lookout circular against Nijjar in 2015. Red Corner noticed in 2016. Nijjar's main job was to identify youth born after 84, use them for terrorist acts. There's a whole litany of cases against him. Arranged the killing of Baba Banihari in 2014. Reportedly organized arms training camps in 2015. Gave training in AK-47, assault rifles, sniper rifles, pistols, etc. Separatists.
So this is the guy who got eliminated that Justin Trudeau was standing up for so adamantly. Trudeau was protecting this guy as a Canadian citizen, yet look at all the stuff that he's involved in. Not exactly those Canadian values you'd think about.
Mandeep Singh, given arm training by Nijjar, he's dead, of course. Viewers, he also raised the 4-member KTF module in Punjab with Arshadullah. There are several things that India wanted him for, and we kept sending dossier after dossier to Trudeau and saying, look, these are not reasonable people. They're a threat to your democracy, your country, your society.
Newsflash, Trudeau's a threat to our own democracy in Canada, let alone the people he protects or surrounds him with.
Can you hand them over to us? No, viewers, the door was shut on our face. And when Nijjar was killed in a gang war, who was blamed? We. There are others.
CNN News 18 is in possession of documents from the elections website of Canada where we have mined and researched how these K-goons, these Khalistanis have been regular donors to NDP or Jagmeet Singh's party. Now, this is a picture that we have also accessed of Bhagat Singh Brar, who continues to remain on the no-fly list of the Canadian authorities, along with another accused in this, Parvarkar Singh Dulai, another person who is seen as a threat to flights, that they could indulge in acts of terrorism if they are on board a commercial airliner and they are on a no-fly list. But these are regular donors to the likes of Jagmeet Singh. And
this is not a good look here, Jagmeet. Doesn't matter which way you look at this. Not only you're standing right next to a guy who's on the no-fly list, as I mentioned, he's spoon-feeding him. Why is he doing this? This is just humiliating, embarrassing, terrible, and disgraceful all at the same time.
This list also includes the likes of Hardeep Nijjar. Now, these are exclusive documents that are in possession with CNN News 18. Now, this is the first one. See, Bhagat Brar. Bhagat Brar, October 1, 2017, has made donation worth $400 Canadian. Again, Bhagat Brar in October 2017, another $400, all to Jagmeet Singh. This is in 2017. What we're trying to establish here is that nearly for a decade, if not more, these people have been associated and closely knit, and that's why, given the influence that Jagmeet Singh today and his party wield within the Canadian administration and government, and how much Justin Trudeau's party, the Liberals, are actually dependent on his support, that's the reason why these Khalistanis are getting such a free run.
So he's basically saying Khalistani is basically directly involved with Trudeau, Jagmeet. The whole thing is a planned, supported effort. Let's jump over back to our other interview there.
This is something that should be highly concerning. And this is something the NDP, if Canada was a functioning country with a functioning core of journalists, this is a question that should be asked Jagmeet Singh. He would at least have to be asked this question and answered what type of funding he gets from people on the no-fly list. This is the type of deterrence, or at least soft deterrence, that should exist in our societies. If you can get money into the political party, but if you're getting money from, Osama bin Laden's butler, in a way, like, maybe you should be asked questions about that. So here, where we have a situation where I think everyone, and this was said, everyone kind of feels so confident to push whatever radical ideology they have, Khalistan, Muslim Brotherhood, CCP affiliated, this is Canada, where there's chaos on the streets, multiple times a week.
Not just that, Daniel. Here's the point. Jagmeet Singh needs to be asked, why is it on record and the numbers show that these so-called Khalistanis have killed more Sikhs than Hindus? They have attacked Sikhs more than they have attacked Hindus. That's one.
That makes sense. Because
secondly, what they claim as Khalistan has got nothing to do with Sikh land. This has got nothing to do with the erstwhile Raja Ranjit Singh Sikh Empire. All that they ask for is sovereign territory of Bharat. It's got nothing to do with anything Sikh.
What we've got going on here is a clan war from India that was brought over to Canada. It was allowed to grow and fester in Canada by Justin Trudeau and Jagmeet Singh. They both support it because they financially support Justin Trudeau and Jagmeet Singh and their parties. Canadian taxpayers have been fleeced. We've had the wool pulled over our eyes and not understanding what's going on, and now it's become quite clear what they've done, how they've gotten to power, and why they've done it.
Because the Sikh capital was Lahore. Okay, Guru Nanak Dev was born in Nankana Sahib, he and Kartarpur Sahib. These are the two places which should be, and Punjab Sahib. All of these are in Pakistan. They are not in India. They are not part of the Khalistan list at all. They have not even.
That's not what Khalistan is. No. Khalistan is an excuse to run around destabilizing Western countries and other countries. That's what it is. And why are more Sikhs attacked than Hindus? Because they're a bigger problem for the Khalistani movement if they don't fall under the umbrella. Right? If you're wearing a turban as a Sikh and opposing Khalistan, that's a big problem. So they attack you. Right? All of this. Is Israel really the problem with the jihadists on our streets? No. What's their problem? They want more jihad. What's their excuse? Israel for now. So it'll be something else in 15 minutes if they need it. Same thing with the Khalistan. This is just an excuse for violence and chaos.
Wow, this guy just called it out straight. That is refreshing. You don't hear that on CBC or CTV. They're using this as an excuse to go do whatever they want, to rain their terror wherever they want.
No, but that cannot be Terry Millerski, the official position of a government and its prime minister who stands in the British on the Canadian Parliament and eulogizes a terrorist, a wanted entity who was denied entry into Canada, and he entered Canada under false pretext and false documents.
Yes, it's true that we are still wrestling with the mystery of how Hardeep Singh Nijjar managed to become a citizen of Canada. And when the question was first raised, confidence was hardly improved by the fact that the immigration minister had to change his answer, didn't seem to get it right. Nobody in Canada really knows how, having first approached Canada with false documents and been denied, and then secondly approached with a bogus marriage, a marriage of convenience, and was denied again. And then at the third, I'm afraid I can't tell you what happened, because we don't know how did he get citizenship. So there are multiple questions to be answered arising from these documents. I don't say it's a surprise. I mean, and it's also nothing illegal. And that raises an important point.
These are the questions we need answered. How did Nijjar get into this country after he was already denied twice? Miraculously, he was let in. Miraculously, we have all this Khalistani crap popping up everywhere, and it's in Western countries. You see this a lot in New Zealand and Australia. That journalist is right, Daniel. He's saying that Khalistani movement is just an excuse to destabilize Western countries. This is an attack from the inside. We're seeing this in other countries as well as New Zealand, Australia. You see this moving around the world. Obviously, has a major foothold, maybe the strongest foothold outside of India here is in Canada, as India has deemed them terror lords. So really, the Prime Minister needs to be the one to step up and squash this, but he's clearly in on it. And so is the second in command there, Jagmeet Singh. Let's check out some of the comments on this video. People who have self-respect will leave Canada. I don't think that's the option here. I think it's to take back Canada. There's a time and a place when a country's too far gone. We're not there yet at Canada, but we do need to right this wrong here within a year. Khalistan referendum is happening in New Zealand during this month. Khalistanis were shown the might in 1984, and then for 10 successive years, Indian state pursued them. Now the erstwhile Khalistanis, their children and grandchildren, have now settled in North America by seeking asylum, and these governments were having fun at India's expense. Now this has taken some serious turns, and this will have some repercussions. I've never gave a politician any money, and it's the first I've ever heard of such a thing. Seriously, well, yeah, you mean you can make political donations. I don't know how anyone can afford to make political donations, but you know, if you've done well in life, that's something you can do. I think most people are in the same boat as there's no money for political donations. It's just trying to pay the bills, and food, gas, taxes, all that. It's all very expensive here. $200 to $300 in donations, not funding. So if you look at the numbers, I mean, going up to $1,500, it's not going to make a world of difference. But the thing is, if you get thousands of people and say there's someone sitting there with $1 billion and they just keep giving money to these people to give out these $1,500 donations, those do add up real quick. So if you have a movement of people like Khalistanis and say you have 1,000 people and now they're all giving $1,000, that's $1 million of donations, and suddenly that's a huge difference. So there's a bunch of people here pointing out the dollar amounts, but you got to think about it in a big picture, not just a single person. So most of the comments here just pointing out the dollar amounts. Sure, like Nijjar giving $350, $800, $600, whatever. Once again, though, you have everyone from an entire community, 1,000 people, they're all getting money. It adds up. Really, the dollar amounts we'd want to see is first a list of all the Khalistani supporters in Canada, and then all the dollar amounts those people have given to the NDP over the last 5, 6, 7 years. That's what you really want to look at. What's that dollar amount? Because I guarantee it's more than that 13,000 they showed on screen. It's probably 10 times, 50 times, or 100 times that. It's unbelievable the amount of corruption we have in the House of Commons, in Parliament, but even outside of the House, outside of Parliament. The far-reaching dirty tendrils of Justin Trudeau and Jagmeet Singh just slipping and slithering around, just sucking up all the dirty cash to do their bidding. It's time for an election in Canada.